What makes a man over 60 instantly attractive to women is not the pursuit of youth, but the full ownership of his age. There is something deeply compelling about a man who no longer competes with time but walks beside it comfortably. His posture, his pace, and even his silence communicate that he has lived, learned, and survived. This quiet assurance creates a magnetic presence that does not demand attention yet naturally receives it. Women often respond to the calm strength that comes from decades of experience because it signals emotional stability and inner peace rather than insecurity. Confidence at this stage of life is different from the bravado of youth. It is no longer about proving worth or impressing others, but about knowing one's value without explanation. A man over 60 who speaks with clarity, listens without interrupting, and expresses his opinions thoughtfully radiates authenticity. He understands that attraction is not built through performance, but through sincerity. That grounded confidence feels safe and attractive because it shows he is comfortable in his own skin and does not rely on external validation. Emotional depth becomes particularly appealing in later years. A man who has experienced love, loss, success, and failure carries stories within him that shape his empathy. When he speaks about his past with reflection rather than bitterness, it shows maturity. Women are drawn to someone who can discuss emotions openly, who can acknowledge mistakes, and who demonstrates growth. This depth creates meaningful conversations, and meaningful conversations create powerful connections. The ability to truly listen is another instantly attractive quality. Many men in their 20s and 30s are still focused on being heard, but a man over 60 often understands the value of attention. When he listens carefully, remembers details, and responds thoughtfully, he makes a woman feel seen and respected. That sense of being genuinely understood is incredibly compelling. It signals patience, emotional intelligence, and a willingness to engage on a deeper level. A strong sense of self-awareness also enhances attractiveness. A man who knows his strengths and limitations without shame demonstrates psychological maturity. He does not exaggerate achievements or hide imperfections. Instead, he embraces his history as part of who he is. This transparency reduces emotional games and increases trust. Trust, especially later in life, becomes a cornerstone of attraction because it provides security and emotional comfort. Humor plays a powerful role as well. A man over 60 who can laugh at himself, tell engaging stories, and find joy in simple moments brings lightness into any interaction. His humor is often more refined, less competitive, and less driven by ego. Women appreciate a partner who can balance seriousness with playfulness. The ability to share laughter builds intimacy quickly and creates an atmosphere of ease and warmth. Purpose remains deeply attractive regardless of age. A man who continues to pursue passions, hobbies, or meaningful projects demonstrates vitality. Whether he is involved in community work, creative expression, travel, or mentorship, having direction shows that his life is still evolving. Purpose signals that he is not merely waiting for time to pass, but actively shaping his present. That energy is contagious and appealing. Physical presence also matters, but not in the way society often portrays. It is not about having the body of a younger man, but about caring for oneself. Grooming, clean, and well-fitted clothing, and good hygiene communicate self-respect. A man who values his health, maintains good posture, and moves with intention projects vitality. Women often find this type of disciplined self-care far more attractive than superficial attempts to appear younger. Independence enhances desirability significantly. A man over 60 who has built a life he enjoys and does not seek a partner to fill emotional voids appears balanced. He invites companionship rather than demands it. This independence reduces pressure and creates space for genuine connection. Women feel more comfortable when they sense they are wanted, not needed for emotional survival. Finally, emotional generosity creates instant attraction. A man who expresses appreciation, gives sincere compliments, and shows affection without fear demonstrates openness. Generosity is not limited to material aspects. It includes time, attention, and kindness. When a man over 60 offers warmth freely, it signals that he has moved beyond ego-driven relationships into something more meaningful and mature. Wisdom is perhaps one of the most magnetic traits of a man over 60. Years of experiences provide perspective that cannot be rushed. When he offers advice gently rather than forcefully, it reflects discernment. Women often admire a man who can approach challenges calmly and offer thoughtful solutions. This steadiness contrasts sharply with impulsiveness, making him appear reliable and grounded. Emotional stability becomes increasingly attractive with age. A man who manages stress calmly, avoids dramatic reactions, and communicates clearly during conflict creates a sense of security. Emotional regulation shows strength, not weakness. Women are drawn to a partner who can navigate disagreements respectfully without escalating tension. This creates a peaceful dynamic that feels safe and sustainable. Financial and lifestyle stability can also contribute to attractiveness, not because of wealth alone, but because of responsibility. A man who has learned to manage his resources wisely demonstrates foresight and discipline. Stability in daily life suggests that he is dependable. This dependability fosters trust and allows romance to grow without constant uncertainty. Authentic masculinity at this stage is subtle and powerful. It is not rooted in dominance or control, but in integrity. A man over 60 who treats others with respect, keeps his word, and stands by his values embodies a quiet strength. Women often find this authenticity refreshing because it removes the need for games or manipulation. Patience becomes a defining quality. With age often comes the understanding that meaningful relationships take time. A patient man who allows connection to unfold naturally creates emotional comfort. He does not rush intimacy or pressure decisions. Instead, he demonstrates consistency and reliability, which strengthens attraction gradually but deeply. Life experience also enriches shared moments. A man who has traveled, built projects, raised a family, or pursued diverse interests carries a rich inner world. These experiences translate into captivating conversations and a broader worldview. Women often appreciate the intellectual stimulation and perspective that come from decades of living fully. Resilience is another powerful attractor. Having faced setbacks and continued forward shows strength of character. A man who can speak about hardships without resentment demonstrates emotional mastery. Resilience signals that he can handle future challenges with grace. That ability to endure and adapt builds admiration and emotional security. Kindness becomes even more visible and attractive later in life. Small gestures, such as opening doors, expressing gratitude, or offering thoughtful support, carry significant weight. A kind man over 60 shows that compassion has deepened with time. Women often find that genuine kindness surpasses superficial charm and lasting appeal. Communication skills often improve with maturity. A man who can articulate his needs, express affection, and discuss boundaries clearly reduces confusion. Honest communication builds trust quickly. Women value clarity because it removes uncertainty and fosters mutual understanding. The ability to communicate with warmth and precision enhances emotional closeness. Ultimately, what makes a man over 60 instantly attractive is the integration of all these qualities into a coherent identity. He is not trying to become someone else. He is fully himself. That self-acceptance, combined with wisdom, stability, and emotional openness, creates a presence that feels both strong and comforting. Attraction at this stage is less about appearance and more about energy, character, and depth, making it profoundly compelling and enduring.